Another day, another grind, and unlucky Spotify here with a nice replay. He is on Khorne on the Domination map, Sacred Senate of Chakwa, against Dark Elves and Ponti Mścisław. That's Polish, I can read that, that's nice. Yeah, and let's see what they rock here. We have the, I think, Exalted Hero of Khorne, and we have the something slave master or something like that. Let's see if my um, knowledge is good. So we have pretty nice as always bloodletters, the typical chaff units here, chaos warriors of Khorne. But where are the minotaurs? There are no minotaurs. What happened? Staunch, not staunch, sorry. What happened here? We have two exalted heroes and chaos lord of Khorne. Yeah. On the other side, for the Dark Elves, we have the High Beastmaster. So it was the Beastmaster, not a Slave Master. And Scorched Runner Chariots. And I remember somewhere here we have Shades with dual weapons and the Sorceress. Yeah. So let's fast forward here. Pretty interesting map. I like the design here. In the middle. So point number 3 immediately taken by the Dark Riders here. And this is going to be very, very crucial. So we have Chaos Warhounds here moving in. Probably, as you can see, those Dark Elves are shooting into those units here. And we have the... We have a nice chase here down the hill. The Exalted Hero takes the shot like a king with his face even. And the other one stays here. Pretty nice pressure here. So point number 2 now also taken by the Dark Elves. And point number 1 will be taken by Khorne here with the Bloodletters. But the Shades are moving in. Quiet, so no one can see them. Chaos Warriors of Khorne plus the Chaos Warriors of Khorne here coming in and chaffing through. So we have a lot of mobility for the Dark Elves, and that's basically very interesting what they will do with that. Unlucky Spotify is starting to reinforce this point here, bringing in Marauder Horsemen here, 2 units when I see that correctly. Marauder Horseman, yes, with throwing axes. And point number 2 is also taken by Khorne. So really nice pressure here by Unlucky Spotify. And he is immediately getting his value. Dark Elves are moving back, trying to reinforce their position. And Warhound's getting a little bit sacrificed here, not for nothing. The Beastmaster, he is now trying to get point number 1. So I don't know what is going on here, that the Dark Elf player is kind of like swooping through the points. Now he's trying to get point number 1. And then he is, I don't know, it looks like he's moving once again somewhere else, or is he just running those Chaos Warriors of Khorne into the ground, so to speak, because they can't hold up the speed with those units here for sure. Point number 2 is really nicely taken here and reinforced by Spotify. And yeah, I'm kind of wondering what could happen here, because point number 1 is not even taken fully by the Dark Elves. So Khorne has still the clutches on it and will get the point. We don't have any other major battlefield action here. Point number 3 is taken by the Exalted and reinforced by the Exalted Hero. And then, yeah, value-wise, Unlucky Spotify is really low, right? Because he can't engage into all those mobility pieces here from the Dark Elves. But what Spotify has is 3 points where he gathers a lot of points for the future. How many ammunition do they have? They have still enough ammunition. Now the Dread Spears moving in for capture weight to... Yeah, this is the tactic now. Poke down those chaffs and then come in with the Dread Spears, sorry, and get the point. Chaos Lord of Khorne, he will probably move in and try to pick someone, find a matchup that he enjoys. And now you can see Exalted Hero of Khorne, one of those is getting maneuvered to the middle to support. And point number one is now really focused down with a lot of Cold One Dread Knights summoned in here, and Shades are also coming in. So I think that this point will be highly contested with really strong Marauders with dual weapons here moving in. And I would assume that as it looked right now, Khorne has this point, and they won't lose it again. They don't want to lose it again. What type of magic is going down here? So we have Smoke and Mirrors with the speed. I don't even know why you do that. But yeah. Maybe because now those Dread Knights can move out and charge in again with a lot of charge bonus. Here we have Dark Riders with shields coming in for the Exalted Hero of Khorne, which is still kind of holding the point pretty nicely. And yeah, Spotify or leading the Khorne to a nice defense here on point number one. Point number two is pretty much yeah, not an interest. They're shooting in here on the dual weapons, so probably that's a good idea. Maybe they run off, or you can then focus on the bloodletters. But oh, Murderous Prowess is active, and now the Dark Elves can push. They can finally maybe outperform the Khorne here. Value-wise, they did it already, and can he use the value for his advantage? That's the question. Dark Shades here once again will shoot in, and that's nice support here, nice damage and support. I would do that probably against something like Khorne Gores, and those Khorne Gores as well. Not against those shielded units, that's for sure. The Chaos Lord of Khorne is still pretty active, and I'm questioning myself because I'm still a beginner as well. Do you focus down a Lord or not? Only if you have the possibility or not. Because sometimes, you can snipe a Lord, that's cool. In this case, this guy is really on top of his HP. Dread Spears summon in, trying to get the point or secure the point, because point, as I can see now, is taken by the Dark Elves, and the upper point as well when we look at that. So now Unlucky Spotify has to make a decision if he attacks and from which point he will attack. I assume he would go to point number one because it seems like closer to point number two. But yeah, those Cold Knights here, Cold One Knights, they did great. And now Fury summoned in, and they will punch those Cold One Knights into the dirt. Oh my god. Yeah, that's it. 2 units. That's cost effective, I think, because Furies are not particularly expensive, and the Warhounds are not expensive as well. And now Dark Riders charging in. Maybe they can save those units here, but this was a blunder. This unit is pretty expensive, and you kind of lost that without any hesitation. Point number one, pretty much contested, but the Dark Elves are fending off the Khorne here. And yeah, still Unlucky Spotify is in a huge lead here, 1,000 points here, and I guess when he holds on to point number 2, he got that in the bag. He's kind of distracting him here. That's the tactics, I would assume. So yeah, let's fast forward here a little bit. Is something happening? He's using his lord also as a decoy, so no one is going for point number 2, because I would say Dark Elves have that point, and you should now use all your units to kind of get point number 2 as well. But Spotify with a very, very nice idea. He uses his Exalted Hero of Khorne, and he is moving it up to point number 3 to maybe get it, maybe focus those units onto point number 3 or the enemy. And yeah, the High Beastmaster here now, Beast Slaver activated. So he has now 800 missile strength here. That is pretty huge, but I wouldn't use him as a shooter. And he is fighting against the Chaos Lord of Khorne. Now Dread Spears are coming in as well, and they can, yeah, they're probably anti-large and do good damage against this Lord. But the points are ticking. Time is ticking away for the Dark Elves, and they have to make a decision. Do you go for point number 2, but then you have to also secure point number 3, which is now once again kind of in a very bad spot, because Bloodletters and Chaos Warriors of Khorne are probably getting that point here. Here, the Chaos Lord of Khorne did a great job fighting the High Beastmaster, and yep, you can see that Dark Elves probably having a hard time to get all 3 points, because now point number 3 is getting taken away from them by Khorne. And yep, let's fast forward here once again. I mean, the big fight will be now once again in the middle. And yeah, Spotify, he can now really chill. He gets point number 3. There's nothing to hold him back from that. He summoned in another chaff unit here. And those Blackguard of Naggarond, they are not strong enough. They need more damage, but this is not what you could yeah, they're just standing there, and that's not enough. Capture weight wise, Khorne is in the advantage. Yeah. So now you need to take all those units here and move to the point, Mr. Dark Elf player. You need to get that point with value, because otherwise Spotify is keeping that point and not giving it up for sure. Yep, so the Blackguard, yeah, they didn't really do a lot. They hold off 3 units, that's for sure. So great value here when it comes defensively. But offensively, that was not what you needed. You needed maybe a second unit that could shoot into it or something. Yep, but now point number 2 is kind of secured by Khorne and won't get any problems whatsoever. And then now the Chaos Lord is riding into the back. Do they know? I don't think they know. And bam, into the backhead. Now they got their shields and moving in, trying to fight the Lord, but the Lord is way too strong. He's picking his targets, and he will, yeah, rout them here for sure. They are broken, running off. Interestingly enough is the Marauder Horsemen of Khorne are on the point, and they are challenging those Dread Spears here. And the funny part is, I don't know why they're not shooting. Probably, yeah, now they are. So yeah, this point is probably could be taken once again. So yeah, game is done, and unlucky Spotify with a very clean game. Nicely done, nice to see. So let's get into the value. Beast Beastmaster, I don't know. I don't know if that's the pick, and also for the sorceress, I didn't see her whatsoever. The shades, they did probably well, and the idea with the skirmish archer chat, archer core was kind of interesting, but in the end, it didn't really perform well. And also those chariots, I don't know. Then let's get into the other values. So, dark shards. So I guess, yeah, those riders, Cold One Dread Knights, they were pretty rad, and also those Cold One Knights did good. So with the knights, he had for sure a good pressure point here. Chaos Lord of Khorne, true, really nice value. Also the Exalted Hero. And then, as you can see, there was not much against big units. Yeah, of course, you have Pest Kongors, which could do a bit of damage to riders, but yeah, you could utilize them more. And we had even Minotaurs that we never saw. So that was one of those fights that I enjoyed. And for now, I'm going to fetch myself a green tea.